Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with Mia and Fred, and I want to, for anybody who's watching this video who doesn't know Mia is blind. So this is really an accomplishment for her to do these obedience commands. So the first thing that we want to take a moment to introduce is the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash. He keeps the bulk of that leash folded in his right hand. That leaves the left hand free to give any corrections or to get Mia's attention, and the only correction that we use is a little tug and let go on her training collar. And that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Mia has been fitted with her very own training collar, and she'll be going home with that, and you'll be taught how to use that properly during your follow-up training session. Now, she is sitting very nicely at Fred's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that they're going to demonstrate for you is the heel. Heeling is proper walking on a leash, and the command is Mia heel. At this point, Mia has a job to do, and that is to stay nicely next to her trainer, not forging ahead or lagging behind. And each time that he stops his feet, she has been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for her next command. And sometimes she gets a little confused and she sits the wrong way. She sits facing the rear. But we allow her that because she can't see us. But do encourage her to sit next to your left leg. When you stop walking, stop to cross traffic, that's what she should be doing. Now the next exercise that Fred's going to demonstrate is the stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and even though she can't see us or can't see us well, we use our hand commands anyway because we have determined that she does see shadows. Your long sit stay when you're practicing at home is for 1 minute, working up to 3 minutes. And this helps to develop her self-control, her maturity, and her independence. When Fred returns back to her, he walks all the way around her so that he ends up back where they started at heel position, and then he gives her a pat for praise and they start heeling again. And this heeling is very important because to have a dog that's well controlled on leash, especially a dog that's dog aggressive, is very important. So if she smells or senses another dog near her, you have your heel command and you make her stay next to you. And when you stop, she should sit. Very nicely done. She's such a sweet girl. She's come such a long way. Nice automatic sit. Fred's going to leave her in another sit stay. And really she is responding to the verbal commands more than the hand commands, although we're such creatures of habit that we're using the hand commands as well. This time Fred's going to call her, and this is always a happy command, Mia come, and she comes right in front and she sits facing his knees. And then she goes back to heel position and back sitting. What a good girl. Great job. And we will demonstrate that recall exercise again for you. She's really good at coming both on and off the leash. And now she's a lot less wild when you have her outside when she's off the leash. When she's out in the yard with you, it used to be she was jumping all over you. She doesn't do that as much anymore. She's really much more well behaved when she's off the leash as well. Nice automatic sit, another stay. And you can see that she is focused on what they're doing together. Fred's going to call her. We talk her in so that she knows she's doing the right thing, and she comes right in front and sits. And then she goes back to heel position and back sitting. Perfect. Good girl. Good job. Now the next exercises that we're going to be demonstrating for you are your down commands, and there are 2. And remember that this obedience gives Mia a sense of self, it gives her a sense of accomplishment, it gives her a little independence, if that makes any sense, so that she's having to perform for you. Now with your dog seated at your left, Left open palm straight down toward the ground, and the one-word command to down, and then stay. Now your long down stays should be lengthened out to about 5 minutes. And practice these exercises. This heat wave has been tough on everybody. You can practice these exercises right indoors. And soon you'll be able to drop the leash and walk away from her. There's really no end to where she can go with this training. When Fred returns back to her, he will walk all the way around her just as he did on the sit-stay. As an additional distraction, back to heel. Come on, Mia, you can do it. And every once in a while she gets a little lost or you know, not quite sure of where you are. And that's normal for her. And you just have to, you know, let her know where you are, talk her up. And we're gonna do this down command from a heel position again. Don't limit her because of her lack of vision. She's a very smart girl, very intuitive, knows where you are at all times. This time Fred's gonna call her out of that. She comes right in front and sits. Good job. Now the very last exercise that we didn't even know if we were going to be able to do because of her disability is her down from a distance. So with your dog seated at your left, you leave her in a sit-stay. And then you use your right hand to give the command and you tell her down from a distance. Now if she doesn't respond, you say no and you say it again, no, down. And she did it, and that was perfect. So we think that this young lady has come an incredible long way from when you found her to the dog that she is today. She has come such a long way. We've really enjoyed working with her. We want to thank you for that opportunity, and thank you again for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.